After quite some time, it appears the US Congress might be on the brink of considering an extensive overhaul of the immigration system. A recently introduced bill called the Dignity Act aims to modernize the immigration system. Now, at this stage, it's still just a proposal, and there's no guaranteeing that it will become law. However, experts think that it stands a reasonable chance of getting passed. This is a pretty expansive bill that impacts multiple facets of immigration, and in this video, we're going to explore the provisions that would give legal immigration status to people who have been here for a while, don't have status, and meet certain requirements. I'm Brian Manning, and I used to be an asylum officer with the government. But now, as an asylum lawyer, I help immigrants all over the country to secure their future in America through asylum. Now, let's dive into the details of a novel and important initiative called the Dignity Program. Now, this program is designed with the objective to afford undocumented immigrants in the United States a chance to legalize their status, earn a living legally, and align themselves with American law. It's not merely a social initiative, but also an economic strategy aiming to bolster the American workforce and contribute to the national economy. The Dignity Program is pretty groundbreaking. It aims to transform lives by offering a chance for undocumented immigrants to come out of the shadows and participate in the American dream. Now, participants in this program get a protective shield against removal proceedings as long as they adhere to the program's guidelines and regulations. This initiative seeks to not only provide opportunities for these individuals, but also ensure that they're accountable and abide by the law. Now, who can enroll in the Dignity Program? The eligibility criteria are pretty clear. Undocumented individuals must have resided in the United States continually for at least 5 years before the initiation of this law. And along with this, they should also clear a criminal background check proving their law-abiding nature during their stay. In addition, they're required to make an initial contribution of $1,000, which will be channeled towards supporting American workers. Now, this payment symbolizes their commitment to contributing positively to the U.S. economy. Once enrolled, participants are required to fulfill certain obligations. All participants must register with the Department of Homeland Security, or DHS, and submit biometric data and acknowledge their past unlawful presence in the United States through a sworn declaration. Now, for those who choose not to register for the program, they're mandated to leave the country within 24 months of the law's enactment. However, there is a silver lining here. If these individuals voluntarily depart, they won't incur penalties for their previous undocumented status should they decide to return through legal channels in the future. Participation in the Dignity Program isn't merely about gaining legal status. It's about becoming an active, contributing member of society. Participants must maintain employment or continue their education for the majority of the program's duration, with some exceptions allowed for caregivers and those with disabilities or impediments. They're also obligated to support their dependents financially and materially, procure health insurance, take responsibility for their medical costs, and crucially, obey all federal and state laws, including the payment of taxes. Now, every 2 years, they'll check in with DHS to confirm their residence, provide proof of good standing within their community, and make payments toward the American Workers Fund until a total of $5,000 has been paid. This fund aims to strengthen the American workforce through various initiatives, which we'll discuss in a bit. One important note is that participants will not have access to federal means-tested benefits or entitlement programs, emphasizing the self-sufficiency aspect of the program. However, if any participant violates the conditions of the Dignity Program, then the Secretary of DHS may initiate removal proceedings, and an immigration judge will then make a final decision on whether to order deportation or possibly modify the conditions of the participant's involvement in the program. Upon successful completion of the Dignity Program, the participant gets two options. The first is to receive Dignity status, which provides a renewable 5-year status, enabling full work authorization and the ability to live and travel within and outside the United States. It's important to note that those holding this status will continue to remain ineligible for means-tested benefits and entitlements, ensuring that they continue to be self-sufficient. Now, the second option is to register for the Redemption Program. This program is designed as a subsequent optional 5-year program, providing a chance to seek more permanent legal status. It requires participants to learn English and US civics, aiming to integrate them fully into American society. Now, the Redemption Program also provides opportunities for participants to contribute to their community, either through local volunteer work, national community service, or continued financial contributions to the American Worker Fund. Now, this program can only conclude once their certification of a fully secure border and a functioning mandatory e-verify system to ensure future immigration is lawful and controlled. When participating in the redemption program, participants are required to continue their obligations similar to those in the Dignity program that we discussed a moment ago. They'll need to check in with DHS every 2 years, update their place of residence, and provide evidence of good standing within their community. They have the option of making 2 additional payments of $2,500 each during those check-ins, summing up to $5,000 over the course of 5 years. Or they can choose to complete 200 hours of community service. This can be done through verified local community service providers or the Corporation for National and Community Service. One significant requirement of the redemption program is that participants must learn English and US civics. This requirement is supposed to ensure that those seeking permanent legal status are well integrated into American society, understand their rights and responsibilities, and can actively participate in the civic life of the nation. Upon successful completion of the redemption program, the conditional status of the participants is removed. They become eligible to adjust to lawful permanent resident status and can seek any existing pathway to US citizenship. US citizenship, of course, would give them the same rights, responsibilities, and privileges as those born in the United States, thereby completing the journey from undocumented immigrant to US citizen. By the way, if you want to maximize your chances for asylum success, then be sure to hit the subscribe button and bell notification so that you don't miss the insights that I share on this channel. Now, let's talk about where the funds collected through the Dignity and Redemption programs go. They're not sitting idle, but are going to actively be invested in bolstering the American workforce. Known as the American Worker Fund, these funds provide training, upskilling, and education for unemployed or displaced American workers. The money collected will be distributed to states and directly to organizations aiming to facilitate apprenticeships, work-based earn and learn programs, and educational opportunities for high-demand careers. These initiatives aim to ensure American workers can continually adapt to changing economic conditions and job market trends. Let me caution that we don't know whether this proposal will in fact be passed as law. In other words, we don't know whether any of this will actually become US immigration policy, or instead turn out to be another plan that just goes nowhere. I do think there's a chance that this proposal, or some version of it, has a real chance to become law. So I'll follow developments around it closely and keep you updated. If you're ready to take the next step and get help with your asylum case, then please call my office today. That number is 713-352-1593. And remember, we help people all over the country, so it doesn't matter where you are. Call us now to schedule an asylum strategy session so that we can help you secure your future in America through asylum. Again, I'm Brian Manning, and it's an honor to serve you in your immigration journey.